Hi guys, welcome back here to another video, and today we are going to have a look at a program that will let you play flat screen games on your VR headset. That's your full VR mode for first person games, and the program is called vorpX. You can find it under www.vorpx.com. So we have here game support, direct VR, beyond games. I'm not gonna click into all of them. Like I said, this program will let you play flat screen games on your VR headset and vice versa. So it says here vorpX version 25.1.0. So let's see, vorpX 25.1.0 reunites the regular and the cutting edge branch. For those on the prior regular branch, it brings a bunch of new features, most notably motion controller gestures, rewritten desktop viewer, and virtual monitor. Alright, so here we have the new version of vorpX. It's 25.1.0. What's that? Yeah, 0.0. Let's have a look at it. I already have a, is that the same one? So we are gonna go back on this one, and then we're gonna switch into here, because that is the one where we can read more. So vorpX version 25.1.0 just got released here on the 28th of August 2025. I need this. I want to buy this program. You can buy it for €39. If you buy the full version of the game, then you can play most flat screen games in VR. For what I want to buy it for, I want to buy this for so I can play Cyberpunk 2077 in VR. I always wanted to play Cyberpunk in VR, and I never found a program that you can download or buy for a couple of bucks, or just download one for free to be able to play Cyberpunk in VR. But now I stumbled across this program called vorpX. I will show you a video in a moment here. Let's see what the update says on this. Now this program will update maybe every month or so, but like I said, you have to buy it. Let's see, this update reunites the regular and the cutting edge branches. For those who until now used the regular version, it brings three major new features: motion controller gestures, a rewritten desktop viewer, and a virtual monitor. So the motion controller gestures means that you can play this game with the controllers that come with your VR headset. That wasn't the case with the older versions. When this program first came out, you had to use a regular controller to play the flat screen games in VR. But now in this brand new update, which is 25.1.0, now this program I think has been out for quite a while. I'm not sure for how long it has been out. You can see the older versions down here, 24.1.0. You have older versions down here. You had here 24.1.0. 21.3.5 is an older version. So yeah, and the 25 is a, let's see what it says here. Those who already use the cutting edge build can skip to the full changelog at the bottom of this page to check what has changed since then. If you don't own vorpX, you can buy it here. Like I said, it will cost you €40. Depends what country you're in, really. Supported headsets: the Oculus Rift the Rift S, the Quest 1 and 2 via Oculus Link, the HTC Vive, Valve Index, which is Steam, Primax Windows Mixed Reality, and other Steam VR compatible headsets, which means you can also use this for the Quest 3. And the Quest 3S, people who have the Quest 3 and Quest 3S, the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S, they are compatible with Steam VR games. So since I have the Quest 3, I have no problems with using vorpX to play Steam VR games. If you already own vorpX, it should auto-update when you start vorpX control next time. If it doesn't, for some reason, simply use the web installer that you received when you purchased vorpX. Okay, you will receive a web installer. You can use that to install vorpX when you buy it. It will download the latest version available. Like I said, the latest version here is 25.1.0. Okay, let's see what they added here in this version. Motion controller gestures they added. Let's see. You can now map predefined motion controller gestures to key presses and gamepad actions. Aligning down sights, reloading, melee combat, steering wheel, and a lot more gestures are available to turn flat games into more immersive VR experience. Cyberpunk, for example. You can play Cyberpunk with this vorpX program. While not every game benefits from gestures in the same manner, some, for example, first-person shooter games, can actually feel close to the native VR that way. Even seated, just a handful of gestures can tremendously improve immersion compared to playing with a gamepad or mouse keyboard. Nice. Various profiles already have gestures predefined. Try, for example, Cyberpunk 2077. That is why I want to get this program, so I can play Cyberpunk 2077 in VR. And you can play Starfield if you own Starfield. Of course, you have to own the games. You have to buy them. The games don't come with the program itself. You have to buy these games to be able to play them in VR. Starfield is another one. Then you have Titanfall 2 or Aliens Colonial Marines. Those are just an example of the games. Those are all flat screen games. You can play them in VR with this here program. More will follow. For other games, you can easily define gestures yourself. Be amazed how easy that is and how well it can work. Check the video below for a brief introduction. We might record that video. Okay, desktop viewer rewrite. The rewritten desktop viewer can now handle high GPU load, a lot more stable, and also addresses a bunch of annoyance the old desktop viewer had. For example, the inability to display Windows admin write prompts. Okay. If vorpX can't hook a game, try the new desktop viewer. I will try that. They have a new desktop viewer. I will try that when I have bought this program, especially in tandem with the third new feature. The vorpX desktop viewer now is the ultimate VR flat game cinema. Let's go! Woo! Can't wait for that. Then you have here, they put in a virtual monitor. Now in Steam VR, you also have a virtual monitor that you can keep up. You can switch from the game. If you press the button on the controller, you can pop up the Steam VR, and you can watch your game on the monitor while you play as well. That's a cool feature by Meta, even Steam. So the new virtual monitor makes running games at higher resolution than your actual monitor. Wow, that's pretty amazing. That's pretty cool, man. New virtual monitor. So a virtual monitor can run games in higher resolutions than your actual physical monitor is what they're saying. Allows a breeze. That's pretty cool. All important resolutions are predefined, and you can easily add more if you want in the configuration app or the config app. That's pretty awesome. So if you play the game, you can open up the app or the file here, and you can set all your monitor resolution. You can set the digital monitor that you will see inside your headset. My monitor is 3440 by 1440. So if I use that resolution in the headset, the game might run a little bit smoother. But because it says here, added benefit to desktop, capturing and playing games unhooked with the desktop viewer. The virtual monitor always runs at the refresh rate of your headset. That's pretty neat. Which removes any form of micro stutter that normally is the result of capturing, for example, a 60Hz monitor and displaying it on a 90Hz headset. Okay, that's understandable. So if you run, if I were to run my game at 3440 by 1440 at, let's say, 90 Hz or something, you won't get any stuttering. So you would have to, maybe you have to run your game maybe 1920 by 1080 or something, or you're going to have to set the game at your headset's resolution, probably. And this easiest way of using the virtual monitor is launching the vorpX desktop viewer and putting on your headset. Pre-default vorpX will then switch to its virtual monitor. Right, nice. I'm gonna let this play. We're gonna turn the sound off. It says here one totally awesome start room. Let's have a look at that video. Here they are showing the gestures. I think if you go into the settings of the game of Cyberpunk, then you can set these gestures, or you can set them in the app here. Totally awesome. This time for real motion controller gestures, as you guys can see here. I'm not gonna open that up, otherwise my recording might go away. I don't know. Let's have a look. Here you can set your gesture settings here. I think I will show that when I have this. When I have the vorpX app, I can make a video of it on my headset for sure. Pretty cool, right? You can use your motion controllers that you have with your headset if you have the Oculus Rift or the MetaQuest 3, MetaQuest 2. All those headsets are being supported for sure.
That's basically it.
Alright, I think I'm gonna replay that. There's no music, so I will set it back here and I'll put the sound on, since there's no music in the video. Alright, let's stop the video. I'm gonna put the sound on this time. Let's have a listen in.
When you launch a game, the first thing you see is now a launch environment that displays game-specific information and some general hints. No need anymore for taking off the headset to check infos that are shown on the monitor. As we will see in a moment, this launch environment is hugely useful for the second main feature of this release, configurable motion controller gestures. In our example, we define 4 typical gestures for a shooter game. First, open the motion controller page in the menu and click on Change Gesture Mappings. Now choose the gesture to apply from the list of available gestures and click Add to Active. Since the controllers are set to mouse keyboard currently, we just define a key, or rather a mouse button in this case. The game is a bit special and implements aiming down sights as toggle key. To account for such cases, there is a toggle key option for some gestures. By the way, if you want to share a profile, it's good practice to define both gamepad and mouse keyboard bindings. We also want a aiming down sights gesture for handguns, as well as an interact and a reload gesture, which we define afterwards. For interact and reload we actually use the same gesture, just on the opposite hand. You can choose a better name if the default name doesn't really fit what you have in mind. That's basically it. Remains just one question: how do the gestures actually work? That's where the launch environment comes into play again. When you define gestures, a tutorial sequence is automatically created that explains how each gesture works. So when you share a profile, others don't have to guess what gestures you defined in your profile.
Alright, nice. That is nicely explained. So yeah, that is the new version of that. Here you can buy the full version of vorpX. I already downloaded this, the Cyberpunk VR download. I already have Cyberpunk on Steam. Let's see where it is. Cyberpunk is way up here. It's here. So when you have this program, you can play Cyberpunk in VR plus a whole bunch of other games, but you have to buy the games to be able to play them. Alright, so when you click on here, buy full vorpX here, you'll land on this page. vorpX play PC games on your VR headset. This is what this program allows you to do. It allows you to play PC flat screen games on your VR. And so you have to pay for it. It's $40, $39.99. You can either pay with a bank card or PayPal. I pay with bank card, of course. You put in your bank card information here, your name of your bank card, the bank card owner, your address here, and your tax ID, I guess. It's $39.99. It's a one-time payment. Here, you have to click here if you want to pay. And let's have a look at the video. This is the video on how he will explain how to install it. But I'm not going to run the video. I'm going to show you the games you can play with this program. So this is vorpX. What we have seen here, vorpX. You can play Counter-Strike Global Offensive in VR. You can play Crysis, Crysis 2, Crysis 3, Cyberpunk 2077. I have Counter-Strike Global Offensive. Let's check it. Counter-Strike, where is it? I think this is it. Counter-Strike. Condition 0. Yeah, that's I can play the Counter-Strike games in VR for sure. Then you can play what is Dark Messiah of Might and Magic, Dark Souls 2, Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls Remastered, Darksiders 2, Darksiders 3, you can play a whole bunch of games. You have the game app profiles. And then you can play Cyberpunk 2077 in VR with the vorpX program. You have to click on the game. You have to click here on apply and close, and then what you can do is you go into your headset, because it says here, let's go back a little bit. You have to select Steam VR Index, Vive, WMR, Primax, etc. You can also choose your headset in here, which in my case will be the MetaQuest 3 for that matter. You can select it in here, or you can select Steam VR. If you select Steam VR, then you can play your Steam games in VR inside your headset, provided those games are where was it? Provided those games are in here. If you have the games, if you have the games on Steam, you have to provide it that they are in here as well. So the games that are in your game app profiles, they will have to match up with the games that you have here on Steam. I got here, what is it? Blair Witch here in VR. Blair Witch VR. I still want to play that game actually. I still want to play it. It's a VR edition, Blair and Witch, or Blair Witch. That's a horror game I like to play. But anyway, the games in here have to match up with the games here. If you don't have the games that are listed in here, you can see there are a whole bunch of games there. If you would scroll down here, there'll be a whole bunch of games down here. So what I'm trying to say is, if the games that are in here match up with the games that are in here, which you have already bought, then you can play them. If the games that are in here, when they are not in here, you have to buy the games first, and then you can play them. If you buy all the games, then you can play all these games that are in here and that you have bought on Steam. You can play them in VR. I have, for example, Cyberpunk. That's why I can play Cyberpunk in VR with vorpX. So I thought I might just show you that, actually. So when I'm done with Half-Life Alyx, I'm gonna start making videos of Cyberpunk in VR. I think I never uploaded videos of Cyberpunk on my channel. The flat screen version of the game of Cyberpunk. I don't think I never made videos of it, but I thought I might just show that. I kind of stumbled across it by accident. I typed it in here on YouTube. I typed in the search bar how to play Cyberpunk in VR, and I pressed search, and that is what YouTube brought up: how to play Cyberpunk 2077 in VR guide and gameplay. That is what you need to look up. This one here. His name is Voodoo DE VR English Russian. So check him out if you want to play Cyberpunk in VR, and let me know what you guys think. Alright, I think that should be it for this video. I'll make more videos of Half-Life Alyx. You can see that there are more videos down here. How to easily optimize and play Cyberpunk in VR. Here is another one, Cyberpunk 2077 vorpX VR mod. But it's okay, that's it. Okay. Here, Cyberpunk in VR, is it worth it? You can watch these videos if you want how to play Cyberpunk 2077 in VR. The ultimate guide, I guess it is. Yeah, the ultimate guide setup right there. If you want to have more info, this guide doesn't give a whole lot of info, but it just gives the amount of info for my taste and what I needed to do. So check them out. Check out these guys. Check out him, check out her, Atom Bomb Body. She does some quite amazing VR videos, tutorials and whatnot. Check them out. And if you want to play Cyberpunk in VR, anybody who has a VR headset who wants to play that game, the Cyberpunk game in VR, check out this guy here. He explains it very well in his 11-minute video. So I thought I might try that. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in another video. Oh, by the way, he's got a radio, not VR mod. Okay, never mind. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in Half-Life Alyx. Bye bye.